Welcome back to Power Slap Entertainment, where this is what it looks like when you order it, and this is what it looks like when it arrives. But rest assured, this is no bootleg. This is a shoe leg. So let's start things off on the right foot. Hell yeah. That was 100% off the top of my head. I just want you to know that. So I've been thinking a lot about money and how we need it to not die. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm a very cheap person. Recently, I had to go to the 99-cent store to buy a toothbrush because my old one looked like a sea anemone and some floss. Not actual floss, the cheater floss, the kind where if you tell your doctor you're using it, they roast you and tell you to, quote, buy some real floss. Gee, I'm sorry, Susan. Some of us don't have time to learn how to floss. Some of us are businessmen buying and selling stock on the go. Capitalism? I run that. So I pick up my toothbrush and my floss and I head over to the line. I put the little separator down and I put my dental hygiene stuff on there. And for some reason, I start to feel paranoid that people will start to think that I have bad breath. So I just throw out some hot tamales in there. And now it looks like I have a problem. I like to put together little scenarios of what people might be like based on the items that they buy. And I look like a crazy guy whose life revolves around eating candy and immediately feeling guilty about it. Which is not too far from the truth, actually. While I'm having this mental battle, I notice the cashier say, "Hey, how's it going?" to the person in front of me, and they completely ignore him. As someone who's worked in customer service in the past, it's always made me salty when people do that, so I made a conscious effort to greet the guy. When he greets me, he says, "Hey, how's it going?" as if he wasn't expecting a response. And I hit him with a, "Good, how are things over here?" And the look this guy gives me is like I just sucked all the firebending out of his body. He's over here having an existential crisis for like 30 seconds, and I have to snap him back into reality. Same old stuff, right? Yeah, you know how it is. Just try not to die, Yugs. Same. Did you just call me Yugs? Hey, do you want a bag? And I just freeze for a minute. I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but recently there was law put in place where we have to pay for bags in certain types of areas. So what would normally be a free bag would now cost like 5 cents. And for some reason, this question just releases the cheap monster within me because I end up asking him, "Do I gotta pay for it though?" I don't think it gets much cheaper than being at the 99-cent store buying floss and refusing to pay for a bag. Luckily, the guy just looks at me and says, "This one's on the house, Yugs," and tosses me the bag. Okay, he didn't say Yugs, he said bro. I don't know why, but I was super hyped about receiving that bag. Like, no one should be this hyped about receiving the equivalent of a nickel. That's when I realized I had become an adult. I'm not sure if most of you guys can sympathize with this, but growing up I had a very cheap mom. Most of our conversations would go like this. "Ma, can I have a Gatorade?" "Why would you have a Gatorade when you can have a Powerade?" Can I get some water?" "Why would you get water when you can have two hydrogen atoms and a carbon atom?" I'm starting to think that all of this has rubbed off on me. You're not one of those cheap guys that'll buy me something off the dollar menu, right? Pfft, no way, I would never spend $1. Take this rake and help me grow some crops. I think this last story solidifies my place in the Cheapness Hall of Fame. I was at my university looking for something to eat, and I only had about $5, so I decided to buy some candy. When I got to the store, I grabbed a bag of Jolly Ranchers for $2 and some gummy worms for $1. Okay, that'll be $4.97. Hold up, are those gummy worms $1? Nope, they're $2. $2? I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but I get really salty once I lose out on the deal. So I ended up putting back those gummy worms and buying like a Skittles thing that was worth $1.30. For some reason, with all the taxes, it ended up costing me 20 cents less, but I invested those 20 cents in 1976 Apple stock and I became the Steve Jobs. Well, more like Steve Hobbies. This video sucks. Just kidding, I'm the best. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and get a coupon off 50% off everything in your entire life. And tell everybody about this channel to enter my carbon dioxide giveaway. I'm too cheap to come up with a decent outro, so I'll just have my brother say something. Say something.
Check out my... Oh.